All right, join us now on Drive the Lane, the hero of Big Ten football. The reason it's back. Maybe not, but we're going to say it. Sir Yacht, welcome to the Drive the Lane podcast.
Thank you, guys. That's very nice of you to say. I don't know if I can take all those accolades. I just wanted to say right before the podcast starts, this is on my website. Cincinnati is in Kentucky, so just so you know.
Well, love that. I don't know. I can't give you as high a praise as Andrew can just because I'm, too in the weeds with Ohio State athletics and stuff. Like, they worked really hard, so I can't give you the same praise, but I will also say thank you because I know you had a gigantic part. Just not all.
I appreciate it, but all I did was, maybe I put some pressure on Big Ten people, but all I did was kind of just say some things that were happening. You got to credit the parents, players, particularly from Ohio State and Nebraska, and even a lot of the coaches, athletic directors, and some of the presidents. Pretty much everybody besides Kevin Warren and the governor of Michigan, you could thank, and the president of Michigan, you could thank in this scenario.
Well, we can bash Michigan all we want on this show. That is 100% allowed.
We're an anti-Michigan show. So obviously we're kind of joking a little bit about you being the reason that Big Ten football is back. But your name was everywhere on social media when that storm was kind of brewing. Can you take us through, how did you get into the mix? How legit were your sources? I want the full Sir Yacht Big Ten is back story.
Yes, so in terms of how legit the sources are, I think it kind of speaks for itself a little bit. There was some stuff timetable-wise that was incorrect, and I kind of jumped the gun on, but most of the stuff was correct. So I don't know how much anybody really knows about me, but I do content creation stuff, working on doing that full time, and had somebody reach out to me and say, hey, I'm a big fan of what you do. I have some information regarding the Big Ten if you want to run with it. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I've never really done anything like this before. We'll see where it goes. So I put out some information about the Big Ten canceling the season. And 3 days later, it came out to, that they were canceling the season. And I was like, oh, okay, this is some valid information. Then heard all this stuff about, maybe Ohio State, Nebraska, Iowa jumping ship and maybe going to the Big 12 with the ACC. That's when Pat McAfee saw that, DM'd me, reached out to me, and Big Cat reached out to me. And, it just it started like this shitstorm of and I just kept getting information and things kept happening. And then, I was like, oh, this is good. I'm getting all this, publicity. This is exciting. The Big Ten, it's going to be back, or whether they are or not, at least Ohio State will play, one way or another. And fucking Kevin Warren comes out of nowhere on August 19th and was like, yeah, we're not. Well, it was weird because that day, Gene Smith, who was so for it coming back, he was talking about it. That day, he did a complete 180 and was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And I was like, maybe he's just saying that to save face so nobody gets mad. But then Kevin Warren comes out an hour later and is like, we're not revisiting the fall football season. And I'm freaking out. My source isn't answering his phone. I'm like, I feel like I'm going to get shot. We were doing a photo shoot for our band at the time, and I was having a panic attack. I'm like, I'm gonna die if someone sees me out here. So he then gets back to me. He's like, dude, I know all this stuff looks bad. I'm so sorry, but just put this out. He said, I promise you this will happen. He said, regardless, due to legalities, the Big Ten football season is going to happen. So on August 19th, I put all this information out. I said, it's because of Governor Gretchen Whitmer threatening to sue the Big Ten. It's because of President Mark Schlissel, and all that stuff was proven to be true. I said because of legalities, the Big Ten season is going to happen. Then you saw all these lawsuits happen, and I don't know what it was, a week or two later, you saw all this momentum going towards the Big Ten football season. A lot of the tidbits that I put out too were true about the no confidence vote with Mark Schlissel of Michigan and just a bunch of different things. So it was cool because I had all these people support me and then basically fuck you, you suck, you lied. And then they all came back and oh, we're so sorry and whatever. I'm like, yeah, fuck all you assholes. But no, but I kept saying to people, I was like, look, if someone that was named after a boat who makes all this content stuff, just said the Big Ten season was gonna come back and then it didn't, I would be mad at them too. Absolutely. I'd be like, you suck, you liar. But everything started happening and they kept changing the timeline, and I'm glad everybody. So the day before they announced it, obviously Ted Carter, president of Nebraska, came out on a hot mic it was like, we're going to announce it tonight. He literally said verbatim, we are announcing the fall football season tonight. And they didn't announce it until the next day. So this is all the bullshit that's been happening, all the other stuff that I've been reporting and I've had to deal with because Kevin Warren is a fraud and continues to change the script and doesn't want anybody to get the credit but himself. Credit to him, though, for realizing his dumbass mistake. But it was a roller coaster. And then in terms of the source, like I said at the beginning, most of the stuff, I'd like to say 90% of it, was happened and was true. A lot of the timetable stuff kind of changed. But I think everybody saw all the BS that I was dealing with. A lot of, actual reporters were dealing with because Ted Carter's like, we're going to announce it tonight. And they didn't announce it until the next day. So it's, is what it is. I'm happy it's over. It was a roller coaster of emotions. But once the season starts, I'm sure there'll be a lot of stuff to report on. So I'm kind of excited to get back into that too.
So I want to make things clear. You need a tag, behind or in front of Sir Yacht, obviously, right? Like Adam Schefter is ESPN insider. Woj is an insider. Is Sir Yacht officially an insider?
It's in my bio, man. It's at the end. It says college football insider. I wanted to put that so many times, but then I was like, I can't. I have to wait until at least the season comes back because otherwise I'm just jinxing myself.
Once the ball's kicked off, then you can finally take a deep breath. You're like, all right, officially an insider.
Exactly. So I'm just thankful. I mean, obviously, for my sanity that the season's happening, but all these kids, I'm so happy we get to see Justin Fields play one more season. I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be a good season for Ohio State.
We know.
Call it a revenge tour, call it whatever you want. I'm telling you, I think they're coming out guns blazing. I think they're gonna win the ship.
Joey and I we were talking about it when you were all listening to this episode. Joey and I were talking about it last week and probably on this episode again. But unless a crazy COVID thing happens, which is going to happen to some team in the Big Ten, knock on wood, but some team in the Big Ten, it's going to happen. It's happening all over the country. One Big Ten team for at least one game will be undermanned. And we think Ohio State will be good enough that that's not even going to make a difference when they're playing anyone. But bearing anything like that, Ohio State shouldn't win any game by less than 14 to 17 points.
Man, that's what I'm saying.
And they should just absolutely steamroll through the season into the college football playoff, hopefully redeeming themselves against Clemson. Justin Fields knocks off Trevor Lawrence. He's the number one pick. I'm going to say it's going to piss you off because I'm a Browns fan. The Browns trade up, take Justin Fields. No, I'm just kidding.
What? I was with you. You had me in the first half.
I saw you ranting today about the Keenum versus Baker thing, so I had to throw that in there.
No, I like it. I think I've seen a bunch of people tweeting and stuff, and it was I really want to thank all the teams in the Big Ten for fighting so Ohio State can go win the national championship or something. Because it's true, it's the Big Ten, they're bad, but other than Penn State, Wisconsin, maybe another team you throw in there, it's Ohio State's time to shine.
It's pretty crazy to me that without Ohio State playing, the other teams are proving that they're the best team, that Ohio State's the best team in the country, right? Think about the fact that they should be ranked number one right now without playing a game. It's crazy. It's not crazy. It is crazy. It's just so.
It's watching all the games this weekend. Clemson looks good. They look pretty good. They destroyed Miami, especially in the second half. Alabama looks very beatable. Obviously, LSU isn't even ranked anymore. But all the teams that, there's no definitive team they're gonna, other than Clemson, that's probably gonna be in the national championship. So you look at Ohio State's roster and everything in comparison, how the hell could they not get there? They'll for sure win. I think they'll for sure win the Big Ten championship. There's no doubt in my mind they're going to make the college football playoff, and then it's up to – I think it'll be Ohio State Clemson. Again, rematch, but this time in the national championship.
So what we've seen with all these sports is that these sports and organizations can kind of do whatever the hell they want. So I wouldn't be shocked if the college football playoff is boom, we're 8 teams this year. The NBA decided there was going to be a play-in game. The NFL decided, boom, we're adding a 7th playoff team. I just wouldn't be – surprised if we get it.
I would be surprised.
Well, but there's going to be so much uncertainty that they might not have a choice. that fourth team.
Let's have Ohio State play Clemson 3 weeks in a row. Best two out of
What do
three.
you think is more likely? They say we're just going straight to a national championship if there's teams with losses besides Ohio State and Clemson, or they say we're expanding. And the answer is expanding. I just can't see them confidently having the third and fourth team in the playoff potentially having one or two losses, which is what looks like could happen. There's not going to be a Big 12 team in the playoff unless they have losses. Florida is now going to have at least one loss. Georgia plays Alabama, which means there's going to be at least one loss there. So you're really looking at a team that at the very minimum there will be Whoa. Coming through twice.
What?
Wow.
What?
Wow. Me too.
We got a big echo going.
Go.
It must be you, Joe.
I don't hear it.
Joey, mute yourself.
Echo.
Yes, it's gone.
It's gone.
Joey, try coming back.
You're on mute still.
How about now?
Yep. There you go.
Echo's gone.
Then we're good. Coast is clear.
So weird.
Coast is clear.
That's what I was saying. I'll talk quieter because maybe that was what the problem was.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're just screaming at me, bro. Relax.
The very minimum, we know we're going to have at least one loss team in there. Probably a two-loss team, potentially not. But my question to you, let's say it's 4 because you guys thought that was crazy. I said it could potentially expand. What's your college football playoff prediction, Mr. Insider?
The insider. So what do the sources say? I'm gonna say Ohio State. I'll say Clemson. I'll throw Alabama in there. I do like Mac Jones. I think he's solid. He's a Heisman candidate right now. And I'm gonna say Florida.
That's mine.
I'm not sold on Georgia. I'm not. Stetson Bennett or whatever the hell his name is. I'm not sold on him. I think Florida with one loss, will still make it in.
Well, this is what's going to have to happen for Florida. Because Florida lost, they're going to have to go undefeated the rest of the season, beat Georgia, and then beat Bama, and then Bama would have to still get in coming off a loss.
There you go.
That's why I think if it expands to 8, you make sense of putting Bama in after a loss, and it makes sense.
Well, it should be 8. It should be 8 anyway.
Yeah.
So, it should be 8 regardless.
I think it should be 8. I mean, 4 is good. It's better than the 2 system they had. But, 8 – everybody's like, oh, well, it makes the regular season games, worthless. It's like, no, it doesn't. It makes them, I think it makes them even worth more. I don't know. If you have 8
there's a group of – instead of it being a group of 6 guys that could be in it, it's a group of, 12.
Well, yeah.
That are fighting for it.
Well, then it's you have all these, 1-2 loss teams instead of fighting for the Outback Bowl. They're like, oh, we can make a run at the end of the season and go and maybe be the 8 seed and just and then having an upset there. I think it raises the competition and raises the quality of the game. I don't know.
What it does is it makes your wins more valuable than your losses, which is what college football really should be. If you have one loss, but you've beaten Georgia and Bama, let's say you're LSU and you lose a game you shouldn't, and that puts value on your wins if you can still get into an 8-team playoff. Yeah. Versus Ohio State has had years where their wins are incredible, but their losses are what keeps them out of the playoff.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
And less guys will sit out at the end of the year, which I know that's kind of a problem, right, in the world of college football. That's obviously not the most important thing, I'm sure, but you got less guys to sit out because they're not playing in the Outback Bowl. They're playing in the 3rd playoff game, So, I don't know, just another thought, I guess, to throw out there.
Yeah, you're not going to put your body on the line for the Chick-fil-A. Whatever. Whatever those stupid bowl names are. You'll all right, maybe I'll get injured, but, I'm going to go try and win a national championship instead of trying to go.
Exactly.
Who wants to go, hey, I tore my ACL in the final game, but at least we won the Outback Bowl. No one cares.
Right. No, totally.
So yeah, before I forget to bring this up, a lot of people kind of know you as oh, that was the guy with sources, or maybe he was making it up, or that was the guy that just makes funny videos. He's not really. What people don't know is you started a foundation, you started an organization. You're pretty damn talented. You're smart with all the stuff you do. So I kind of want to give you the floor to be hey, this is all the stuff that I do. I'm not just where I am today because I tweeted about Kevin Warren.
No, yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we first off, the organization we started is called We Choose to Change, and it's like almost like uninterrupted, but instead of like for athletes, it's for anybody that wants to share their story. So we want to put a spotlight on stigmas with like mental health, anxiety, bullying, racism, anything like that. So I started out with my good friend Steve Bailey a couple months ago, and we're just excited. Of course, I've been in. Excuse me about the burp. Okay, we're good. Just had a quesadilla before this, and anyways, but we I've been working on it a little bit. I've been in New York for the past month or so. So once I get back, I'll put a lot more effort into kind of starting this thing where hopefully get some fundraisers going and work with some people and things like that. So it's just been fun doing that. And then, I make a lot of sports content. I do like a bunch of things. I almost boxed Logan Paul last year. I jump in Lake Erie a lot. Like, I'm a Big Ten reporter now, and then working on I have a small deal with a music label out in New Jersey. We're gonna release a song, I think November 11th. So we're kind of doing all the front end stuff right now, and kind of working with the algorithms of Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. And we have a distributor down in Nashville that we're working with, so we're pretty excited with that. What else do I do? I don't know, I just do a bunch of different things in terms of like content and social media, and I work with people and do some consulting as well. So yeah, it's I'm the goal is to kind of just do this all full time, and then to just kind of diversify my income as much as I can. And then I also have a live show every Monday on Periscope on Twitter called the Yacht Club. So that's what we do. How do we
get invited to the Yacht Club? We don't even need to be on the show. We just want to come chill at the Yacht Club.
Just say when, and I'll give you the Addy. I'll come pull through. It's fun. We have a green screen studio, and we put a boat in the back, and it's a good time for sure.
You're clearly
anytime.
You're clearly the most well-rounded insider on the planet. I mean, there's no way Woj and Adam Schefter are creating. First of all, there's no way they're not on your level in terms of they ain't bringing back the Big Ten. Second of all, there's no way that they're releasing music anytime soon. I mean, come on.
No. Yeah, I've heard Adam try to sing. It's not good, and Woj is a stiff, so there's no way.
All right, who's getting the scoop? All right, something big is breaking, like the president getting the coronavirus, which for some reason Shams broke that. All right.
Yeah, that was nuts. Are you kidding me? How did he break that?
So, I mean,
you're supposed to know. You're the insider.
Yeah, I think the answer is going to be Shams. But let's say some big news is happening, and your sources are working on it. Woj's sources, Shams, Schefter, they're all working it. Who's getting that scoop first?
Yeah, I want to say like it's one of them, but I'm going to act like, the quarterback that might be like the third or fourth best in the NFL. And he gets asked that question. He's like, well, I got to believe in myself and my ability and my talent and stuff. So I'm going to say me, but obviously I'm like a young gun with all this stuff. I hope I can still kind of break some stuff in the future. These guys are, proven veterans per se. So I'll give it to them, but give me some time and I'll hopefully be able to prove myself.
So, Andrew had a before I forget question. I have a before I forget question.
Yeah,
we're both big Barstool guys, as the majority of the world seems to be now. I'm a religious listener, pardon my take, and the first time that I laughed out loud in a while, because you get numb to their humor, right? The first time that I laughed out loud in a while was when PFT said, "Sir Yacht, he's working for the Big Ten. He's more of Sir Pontoon Boat." And I think I texted Andrew when that happened because I thought that was so funny.
I didn't hear that. That's hilarious.
Do you obviously Big Cat's hitting you up and stuff like the funniest joke on Twitter was him believing in whatever you said blindly, which was awesome. Do you go and listen to it when you know that they're going to be talking about you? Is that something that is in your hemisphere of stuff going on?
What's funny is between them and the Pat McAfee show, those are like the two things that I listen to like all the time. But when they started talking about me, I kind of like tune it out because I don't want to be like too high or too low when it comes to like all these things. But two, like, I don't know. I mean, I heard a lot of stuff coming in. about me and, like a bunch of different like medias, whether it was McAfee or Big Cat or like, reporters, local, even some national. And I don't know, I didn't do a whole lot of listening. I had a lot of people send me recordings and stuff. So it was just kind of funny in that regard because I didn't pay attention too much to the podcast, like when they were talking about me, but then before oh god, that go again.
Joey, mute again.
Are we good?
What's wrong with me?
Nothing, you're fine. Dude, you're perfect. Nothing's wrong with you.
All right, thanks, Joey.
You're amazing. No, okay, so sorry, I was like brain dead there for a sec because I was like trying to hear myself over the echo. But to answer your question, before and after I listen to it all the time, like religiously. I'm an award-winning listener. But yeah, but like during all that whole process, I didn't do a whole lot of it. People would send me clips of like myself, but I don't know. I don't want to. It's like you don't want to be too high or too low. I don't really pay attention a lot to myself. I kind of just tune it out a little bit. I sound like LeBron with like the media or somebody talking about him. Like it's a terrible comparison. But that's what I did.
Zero Dark 23 Sir Yacht.
Yeah.
I have a follow-up question because I thought they were so foolish to not have you on. Did they ask you to come on and did you say no? Because that would be awesome if you did that.
No. I would for sure. So I tweeted Big Cat and I was like, we got to have you on our show, our live stream show. And he said, when the Big Ten comes back, I'll come on the show. We were working with the Sportsbook as our advertiser, like that competed directly with Barstool Sportsbook. Didn't know they were announcing that. So he's like, yeah, out of, conflicting interests or whatever, he said, I can't really be on the show, but I can have you on the Yak. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. But he's been so busy with the Sportsbook and all this stuff that he hasn't really answered my last couple DMs. So I'll give him shit down the road and eventually, hopefully we'll link up. But he's been really nice. He's obviously this, giant personality. But behind the scenes, he's a pretty nice guy. I mean, he's a nice guy in public too. Not saying that, but behind the scenes, he's a good guy.
So the last thing I kind of want to bring up, when like you kind of started building fans and people were starting to joke around and you had memes made about you. And the hardest I laughed to a meme was when it was a picture of a guy waking up a girl and it said, babe, wake up, Sergey just tweeted. And I saw that and I lost it. It was so funny.
The memes were great. Yeah, I think people would post that all the time. Like there'd be like 20 to 30 people posting that picture. There was one when it like all started. Like when Warren said like they were not going to revisit the season. It was that meme of like James Franco like in a noose. He's like it was like that guy that broke the Kawhi Leonard news that he was going to be on the the Lakers, but he ended up going to Clippers. It's like Ari Abraham to Sir Yacht, and it was like first time, and he's like getting hung. There was one where it's like, there was one the other day when during the Trump Biden debate, when Trump said he brought the Big Ten back. This one lady said, I would say probably I'm in rock bottom in my marriage right now because when that moment happened, my husband yelled, "No, Sir Yacht brought the Big Ten back." And this girl is on record for like hating me and not liking me, and apparently her husband loves me. So I was like, fucking checkmate. That's beautiful. But a lot of the memes were hilarious. Like I laughed at a lot of them. There were some that were not very nice. Then I was like, that sucks. But most of them were like really funny.
You tweeted a picture with your girlfriend a couple days ago, and I replied and I said, does she know what you've done for the world of college football? And a bunch of people were liking it. It's just so funny.
It's funny because like she's in Louisiana for med school. So all this stuff, she went in like June. So all this stuff has happened like without me like seeing her. I saw her 2 weeks ago for a few days when she's on break for med school. But yeah, all this stuff has happened, and I fill her in a little bit, but then I don't want to. She's like studying 14 hours a day, and I don't know how much of this she like wants to hear about. So I'm like, hey, like did this today, said the Big Ten was coming back, and it did. And I didn't really tell her about all the shit that happened in the middle, but if she wanted to go look it up, I'm sure she could.
It's like you're a superhero.
That's what people keep saying, and like it's funny. Like some people like you, like, you know, are joking, like, oh, we brought the Big Ten back. Some people are like dead fucking serious. They're like, you really brought it back. I'm like, that's not how it works. But I just said what was happening. Like I didn't like.
You told the world. You're the middleman, and people hate the middleman sometimes.
You're the whistleblower. That's what you are. You're the whistleblower for the whole thing. Like sometimes it takes a leak to get something moving in the right direction. You're the leak.
The thing though is it when you report all this stuff, it does provide some sort of pressure. And then what I did, I guess I didn't even realize this, is it gives other reporters, like, because you don't want to burn bridges in the reporting world. And I don't have a bridge to burn. However, these other reporters that maybe had the same information as I did or didn't have it yet, when they saw me tweet stuff about this, it gives them like a reason to go to their source and be like, hey, look at this. Is this true? Can you elaborate on this? Like if it is true, and it gives them like credibility to go to their source instead of just like burning that bridge. So somebody told me that, and I was like, wow, that's I never even thought of that. So that was kind of cool.
Let me ask you another news breaking question. What are your thoughts on, like, I always laugh when like Schefter is the king of this, and this is honestly, this has got to be something that's in my head because of part of my take, but he's the king of, like, someone will tweet something and he'll quote tweet it and be like, yep, I heard that too, you know, and like now it's my story. You know, what are your that's not good for you, right? You don't like that at all.
I mean, I did that like maybe once or twice, but if I'm gonna do that, I'll usually either retweet it if I like I'm not gonna say yep, it's true, like, because then people like, well, especially for me, like, you know, being like a nobody, people are like, oh, you're just a clown. But if I like hear something like that, what I'll do is I'll elaborate on it. Like I'll give more information that maybe that person didn't say, or like I'll take the tweet and I'll go to my source and like, hey, I'll be like, hey, like, can you give me some more information on this so I can kind of elaborate on it. But I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't like when like Schefter or people kind of do that, or you know, Cleveland media is notorious for that when national media has it, and then they're like, I can confirm this, like my sources confirm this. It's like,
my sources confirm. Exactly. It's like, then why didn't you say anything?
Why didn't you say something like, I don't know. I mean, I get it if you're like 10 seconds. I've been like 10 seconds behind somebody saying something before, and you know, it is what it is. But when you're like an hour or whatever behind, you're like, I confirm this. It's like, what's the point? What's the point?
Yeah.
All right, my final question.
All right.
And Joey, you can introduce the last segment that we do with everyone, which I think will be maybe better with Sir Yacht than it's ever been with anyone. But did you reward your source?
Yeah, I gave him a bunch of free merchandise. I mean, it sounds so like not even like a good reward, but yeah, no, I mean, we're going to build this like relationship. I think eventually, like, if this all works and, you know, whatever opportunities come, you know, I'll throw him a cut of some stuff, and I think we'll maybe put together some like news, not network, but like kind of like a business. I don't know, just some sort of like not corporation, but whatever it's called, like some sort of entity where, you know, we report news on college football and other things. But yeah, I mean, we've built a pretty good friendship so far, and he's going to help out with some podcast stuff and some other things, I think, down the line. So we're just kind of developing it right now. He's a good guy, very good guy, very connected.
He must be connected. I mean, he told you the Big Ten was coming back. But my last question, and this has been a blast because, I mean, as you would agree, it's way more fun to interview guys that you know, are on the same wavelength, right? Like, it's like a conversation, you know? So this has been a blast.
Thank you. Yeah.
The reason I say that is because we're going to turn the tables on you. Obviously, you have your own shows. You know how this works. So if you have any questions for us, we're happy to grant you host for the next, you know, few minutes to ask us some questions that maybe you've been just had a huge desire to ask us.
I like that. Okay, so I don't know if did you guys say your 4 for the college football playoff? If we, you know, I'm assuming it's going to be 4 this year. Do you guys do that?
We kind of all agreed, you know, Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama, Florida. That was kind of ours also.
I just don't think Georgia. I mean, they're this weekend's gonna be a really good game between 2 and 3, but I just don't like their quarterback a lot. I don't know.
Gotta be quick on your feet if you're gonna be breaking news.
Do you think Ohio State goes undefeated this year? I mean, do you see them losing to anybody?
No chance. No, I mean, if they win the championship, they went undefeated. If they don't win the championship, then they lost the game in the finals. I mean, in my opinion, I think we all agree there too.
They could. I mean, they could. I mean, do you think they have to win out to make it to the Big Ten or to make it to the college football playoff? I mean, they could theoretically win the Big Ten championship and also have one loss.
It depends. It depends when their loss is, kind of like you're saying. Like if they're undefeated and they lose in the Big Ten championship, then I think even if the team that beats them has 2 losses, they'll probably get in over them. But
okay,
I think that I got to decline the call. It's my source.
Too busy. Your source, man. Too busy. Come on.
But yeah, I think they'll go undefeated and they'll be in the playoff. And I think, and I'm only not asking about the Browns because this is going to come out next week, which was we're doing it right before college football. We want people to listen to you because you're the reason it's back, baby. But
yeah.
So we're not getting into the Browns. We'll have you back on again to talk about Browns. I'm taking control back over to ask one more final question. Okay.
Oh, all right.
One more final question. I just had it, but I just lost it.
God damn it. No.
I had it.
That's what you get from taking away.
No, but
take away from the best segment. It was just getting started.
Oh, okay, I got it. Were you ever credited during all this? Like by a legitimate reporter, not by Big Cat being like, Sir Yacht did it. Like, did a legitimate, like an athletic, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, someone say Sir Yacht had it first? Besides that random lawyer that loves you.
I know, that lawyer is awesome. Yeah, the Athletic hates me. Stuart Mandel, whatever his name is, he said something about me, and then I kind of put him in a body bag. And the only reason I say that is because my tweet blew up, and his didn't. All these other people were shitting on him. If you count Clay Travis as a his thing, Outkick or out whatever it's called, his
Whitlock.
thing,
great writer Whitlock.
Yeah, right.
What a show that is.
It's fun. No, a lot of reporters behind the scenes, were nice and things like that. But no, I mean no ESPN, no anything like that kind of gave me credit. I mean, to be fair, I'm not even saying my real name. It's almost it's like crediting Leroy from Part of My Take with sources and stuff. You're not gonna credit a boat. You're not gonna credit a dog. I get it. And some people mad. A lot of reporters are really mad. And I responded to a lot of them, and I was like, I'm sorry, my hobby is your full-time job, and I'm doing it better.
Yes.
That's what I was saying.
I love that.
I love that. It was funny because they all are backed by, if they get something wrong or if they do a lot of shit talking, they have the potential of getting suspended or anything. I have nobody to report to. This is just – I'm my own boss. So if they're going to say something to me, I'm going to fucking put them in a body bag. I don't give a shit. So.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about it. That is so true. It's you could either be like, yes, I got this scoop wrong. I don't have to worry about being fired. Or I got this right, and I'm going to rub it in this guy's face and not worry about being fired. It's the best of both worlds.
Well, one of the worst things I did was maybe the best things I did, which Zach Smith, the controversial coach at Ohio State, he quoted one of my tweets, and he's like, I'll give you your clicks because you're clickbait or whatever. You're full of shit, blah, 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 blah. And I quoted it, and I was like, thanks, Zach. Better to give me clicks again than to give your wife another beating. And I was like, because what is he going to say? And he was like, that wasn't even proven to be true, whatever. And by the time it didn't matter. My tweet kind of went off, and his were whatever. So that's the advantage that I have, is that I've made this fan base out of kind of making fun of situations online and making just stupid content. So that's my fan base. They're not a lot of people come in for the reporting, but I've already had this fan base of people that do that. So I have the advantage there, and these people can't that. He wants a job. He needs to keep his shit straight. This is what I'm going to do for money. So this is just it kind of works in my favor.
Do your fans have a name, or are they the Yacht Club? But that's the name of the show.
I call them shipheads on my show. Yeah, so it's the Yacht Club, and then I say, "What's up, shipheads?" At the start of it.
That's so good.
Yeah. I like so good. Someone came up with that for me a couple years ago, and I was like, "Damn, I'm gonna use it eventually."
You got
we need a name. We need a name probably.
We'll come up with something. But you got something real good cooking, Sir Yacht. We're definitely fans. We're gonna start making memes and just spam your tweets with memes. We appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you giving us some Big Ten football to talk about. Can't say it enough. The Big Ten is back, thanks to Sir Yacht.
Maybe because of me. Yeah.
Sir Yacht, any last words?
The Browns are 4-1. They're potentially going to be 5-1 by the time this thing comes out. I hope so. I just don't know what to do with like the Browns being really good. It's like the Ricky Bobby thing. I'm not really sure what to do with my hands right now. But
you're not on fire, Sir Yacht. You're not on fire.
You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby. And I'm going to say it once. I'll say it again. Ohio State's won a national championship. They're going undefeated. You heard it here first.
I like it. And that's breaking news because you have sources.
Yeah.
Sources say Ohio State undefeated.
Sources tell me.
Per source. Yeah. There you go.
All right.
And I'll quote tweet that and say my sources agree.
Yeah. And then, just keep saying, and I'll confirm
We'll just keep a train going. My sources also confirm. And my sources confirm the sources.
I like that. Yeah, we should do that. I'm down.
Eventually we have the same source, and it's us.
Yeah, that's a paradox, man. Wow. That's confusing.
All right. Thank you, dude.
Thank you.